segment addition, but the idea of a point in the middle should help us solve these problems. So let's start off with number 1. We'll go to VW up top. And we're going to find US. So these tally marks let us know that those are the same. Those segments are congruent and the lengths are equal. So if this is 3 feet, this part is 3 feet. So that's your answer, 3 feet. Number 2, given that CR, this whole thing is 15 feet, find CA. Since we see these tally marks, we know those are the same. That makes that a midpoint or a segment bisector. And that means this segment, that one is the same. So if I take 15 and cut it in half, that's 7.5. And the other one must be 7.5. So CA equals 7.5 feet. Okay, moving on. Given that O is the midpoint of VL, I got to find these two things. So first off, midpoint of VL. O is in the middle. That means I'm going to put a tally right here and a tally right there. That lets me know that this one's the same. Since I did that, I now realize that this is 6 with one tally. So that tally must be 6 feet. And now I have information for all three. So what is it asking me? Find VL. V to L is that whole distance. So it's 6 plus 6 gives me 12. So 6 plus 6 equals 12 feet. Then VK is the whole thing. So that's 6 feet plus 6 feet plus 5 feet equals 17 feet. Moving on. Given that U is the midpoint of DB, so U is the midpoint of DB, that means this and this are the same. So if that's 5, this is 5 feet. Given that find DB and find VB, so DB is this, so that's just 5 plus 5. That equals 10 feet. And then VB is this entire thing. So 5 plus 5 plus 6.5, 5 plus 5 plus 6.5 equals 16.5 feet. All right, number 7. L is the midpoint of OK. So L is the midpoint of OK. So that means this part and this part are the same. So if that's 12, this is 12 feet. I've got all the parts. So find OK. O to K is just 12 plus 12 equals 24 feet. OS is O, 12 feet plus 12 feet plus 6 feet. So that gives me 30 feet. And VK is all 4 of them added together. So 15 feet plus 12 feet plus 12 feet plus 6 feet equals 45 feet. Now to our wagon question. O is the midpoint of GN. O is the midpoint of GN. So that's 33. That's 33. Okay, and then WN, so this whole thing is equal to 132 feet. So let's see, GN is 33 plus 33. That gives me 66 feet. Find WA. That's this little part over here. How do I figure that out? Well, I know all these parts. I know the whole thing is 132. So if I take these and add them together, so I already know that this part equals 66 from the problem I just did. That's 42. So this equals 108. So if the whole thing is 132, and from A to N is 108, so I've got 132 minus 108 is 24 feet. That's this part right here. And now that I know that, I can figure out WO, which is 24 plus 42 plus 33. So 24 plus 42 plus 33 equals 99 feet. All right, now to the bottom. Hopefully this one doesn't trip you up. Given I is the midpoint of TP, so T is all the way to the left, P is all the way to the right, I is right in the middle. So what does that tell me? That means this part is congruent to that whole thing. Ooh, it's not a good way to put that. But I know this whole thing is the same as over here. So this whole thing is 22. So this whole thing is 22. So find TI. Oh, I just found it, 22. Because they're the same. That's the midpoint. Then find RI. Well, if that whole thing is 22, that's 7. I'm just going to subtract 22 feet minus 7 feet equals 15 feet. So this part is 15 right here. Then find TP. That's the whole thing. That's 22 plus 22. So that's 44 feet. All right, that's page 1. Check your answers. Answer you should begin to put on the board. Go to the classroom. So I'll turn the paper over. Gets slightly more complicated because now we're throwing in a little algebra. So use the midpoint of BS. That means this and this are the same. Since those are the same, you can set them equal. So 2R equals 12 feet. You're going to solve to get R by itself. So get rid of everything around it. Divide by 2. And you get R equals 6 feet. Or 6. Okay, number 14. Given that A is the midpoint of CR, solve for T. So I know that part's the same as that one, so that is equal to that. So 9 equals 3t. I'm going to divide by 3 to get t by itself. T equals 3. All right, number 15. Given that A is the midpoint of WG and WG, the whole thing is 30. The whole thing is 30. Solve for V. So how do we do that? You can actually do that in 2 ways. First, you know that AG is just half of 30. So that means that's 15. So now you can make those equal to each other. So 4V equals 15. Divide by 4. You get V equals 15 over 4. You can make that decimal if you like. The other way you can do it is you know that this top is 4V right here. So this is 4V. So you actually have 4V plus 4V is 8V. That equals 30. So if you divide by 8, you get V equals the same decimal as you would here. And if you reduce 30 over 8, 2 goes into 30 15 times, 2 goes into 8 4 times, you end up with the exact same number. And the decimal of that is, let me check my calculator, 15 divided by 4 gives me 3.75. Ooh, 3.75. 16. Given that n's a midpoint, that's the same as that. OS, the whole thing, is 144 feet. Solve for W. I'm going to just pick one of these. So if the whole thing's 144, that means half of it is 72. That divided by 2. That means these are equal to each other. So 6W equals 72. Divided by 6 on both sides to get W by itself. And I get W equals 12. All right, we're getting close. Over here, number 17 definitely gets trickier. Given that O is the midpoint of VL, so I'm putting my tallies on there, so those are equal to each other. Solve for X, I can do that. These are equal to each other. And then when I'm done, I use solve for LK. Okay. So I know that this part is equal to that part because O is the midpoint. So I can write those equal to each other. 3x equals 45. Divided by 3 on both sides. I get x equals 15. That's one of the answers. And then it also wants LK. So I'm going to plug that back in to LK. LK is 4x. So 4 times x, when x is 15, gives me that 60. Not too bad. Well, at least in my opinion. All right, number 18, given that U is the midpoint of DB, solve for Y and then find VD. So same type of problem as above. DU is congruent to UB. I can set these equal to each other. So 3y equals 12 divided by 3 on both sides. And I get y equals 4. That's one of the answers it's asking. And then find VD. So the VD is 5y. Take this, plug it back in. 5 times y, when y is 4, it's just 5 times 4. That equals 20. VD is 20. Now number 19, finishing off this Volkswagen page, given that K is the midpoint, so all the way over here of LS, that and that are the same. Solve for Z. Oh, okay. So I know that that's the midpoint. This is the same as this one, so I can set those equal to each other. So 20 equals to Z. Divide by 2 on both sides to get that Z by itself. And I get 10 equals Z. So that's the first thing I want. Then on here it's saying find OL. That's this part. OL, that segment. So I'm going to take that and plug it in. So that's 7 times Z, when Z is 10. Gives me 70. So this segment right here is 70. Find OK. OK is from here to here. O to K. So that's 70 plus another 20. That's 90. 70 plus 20 equals 90. So that's 90, 70, 10. And the last one, VS, the whole thing. What is it? Well, 5Z, I gotta plug in that 10. 5 times Z, when Z is 10, I mean that gives me 50 for VO. So I gotta add all of these up. 50 plus 70 plus 20 plus another 20, and I should get my answer. 50 plus 70 plus 20 plus 20 with a whiny cat in the background gives me, what, 90, 160. All right, there we go. I gotta feed my cat. Make it a great day.